What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill. This is Ryan. This is Ryan's Badlands Bronco, and this is a ton of lights from Diode Dynamics. So, and when I say a ton of lights, I mean a ton of lights. We've got some pod lights for the front of his bumper to go in there. Got some ditch lights that are going up there. And then seven of these 5-inch LED pods to go across the top. So he will be able to get a hold of the Batman at any point in time, no matter where he's at, even in the middle of the day. We are going to go through, and I think we're going to put the bumper lights in first, kind of work our way back from there, and figure out how this all goes together. Fog light setup is going to consist of one of these, which is the 3-inch LED pod in yellow, and then two of these, which is this Stage Series LED pod. It doesn't say the size. I guess that's just what it's called, LED pod. One? Yeah.
I think it's an SS1.
Called an SS1. Alright, but so it's going to be two of these. And I did a ditch light install of these a while ago. And these mounts install pretty easily. You just drop the nuts in there. Then you put the screws in. It holds the spot. On these smaller ones, it's got the mount right there. So we've discovered that trying to put the mount in first and then putting the lights to it is probably not the easiest way, especially without removing the end cap. So we're going to remove the end cap first and then kind of build it out. And all these bolts are ridiculously tight, so be careful that you don't strip them out. So if you have the shadow black, they did a great job of painting all the door hinges, unlike the cyber orange or pretty much any of the premium colors that you have to pay extra for. Yeah. Where they paint everything except for the door hinges. So yeah, if you haven't seen the end caps come off, this is the end cap. It's got the 3 lights on there. You see they just go through the mounts. You got a couple different ways you can configure them depending on the lights that you went with. And you know, I didn't really tighten that too much.
Yeah, so you can move it.
So you can move it, but you might want to snug it a little bit.
I mean, I can tighten these a lot, and so I guess we can snug them up.
I probably want to make sure the other piece fits.
Before we get crazy.
Yeah. Just make sure we're not sticking out too far for the end piece to go on there or anything. That in place.
Looks good.
I think you're good. Beautiful. All right, so the wiring harnesses that are provided are pretty in-depth wiring harnesses. Yes. So you got the 3 a special harness to wire the 3 lights into their two light wiring harness with 2 different relays. You got a relay here for the fog lamps. So if you want to wire it in so you have your fog lamps come on automatically with your side markers or your low beams, you can automatically have them come on. And then you have your other relay for turning on your switch, so you have power and everything. And then it also has 3-way switches included as well for, now if you want to turn it on to just backlighting or turn off. We are going to forego all this. Just in the name of simplicity and in the name of not running all this wiring, because he's not worried about having the fog lights come on automatically or anything. He's going to have them all on a switch. So you flip one switch and all these come on at the same time. So they also came with individual plugs on the back end, and it's going to be 3 wires. It's red power, black's ground, and then the blue is the backlighting wire. So we're just going to plug these in, run a wire to, and we're going to go to aux 2, I believe. Yeah, 50, because the aux 1 is going to be the big overhead, aux 2 is going to be these. So that's going to be the green brown wire, and then I think you said aux 6 is going to be your backlights, or
yeah.
so aux 6, that's going to be all the different backlighting that he has is going to be on one switch, so you can flick that and it'll light up any backlighting he has, and then he'd be able to control all the other lights individually. So aux 2 will flip all these on. So then we just need to run from the red wire on each of these. We'll run a wire back to the overhead, and then the blue wire will run back to there as well. And then a ground, we can find a common ground somewhere before then and call this good. Or we could sit here and chase this, but this wiring harness seems like a lot of overkill. I mean, it's great if you don't already have if you don't have the aux switches, you don't already have built-in relays, and you need all this extra stuff, then it's great that they've included it. If you didn't get the upfitter switches, then you need to wrestle with this harness. In our case, we're going to forgo it, keep it simplified, and just put everything on some switches, or on 2 switches in here, and then we'll go from there. All right, so just made a quick wiring harness. So instead of this bag here, we got this. This is the one side. I got one wire coming off. That's just going to go to a ground, and then I got these 2 longer wires, which I'm going to run over back behind this side here, and then I'll make another. He's working on putting together another harness like this for this side, and then these 2 wires will splice into 2 more wires that are going to run back here to connect to that. So then we just have these 3 plugs with the ground close to it, and then these 2 wires to run across to meet up and then run back. I think that's going to save us about 50 pounds worth of wiring. And yeah, that's what I said. We went from that to this. So, well, that. Yeah, so I think we simplified it just a bit. So yeah, it's a little snug, but I think that'll work perfectly. So we'll ground this down here somewhere, and then run these 2 back behind the bumper to the other side. So here we are in the middle of a heat stroke. But we got the lights on installed on the front, both sides. Got everything wired up. There's a bolt on the back side of the bumper here facing this way, which we used for the ground on each side. And now we have these 2 wires coming up. That's going to where the upfitter switch wires are. And so we're going to wire one of those wires to aux 2, which is the green brown wire, and then the other to the aux switch, aux 6, which actually probably won't wire that one just yet, because you're going to have other ones to tie into that one as well. So we'll just do all of those. So for right now, we'll just do the aux 2, which is the green brown wire, and we want to go to our red wire. I'm using red wiring for both of these, so I'll put a piece of blue tape on this one to know that this is going to the blue wire, which is the backlighting wire, and then this one we just kept as red, which is going to be our red power wire, which is going to go right here and splice into this. Tuck it underneath anything I can so it's as they short out everything in your car. Yeah. Which, of course, we have the battery disconnected before we do anything with the electrical. And leave a little extra wire in case we need a service loop for whatever reason. Says if we don't, then we'll definitely need more wire. We gotta see if it worked.
Which switch is it?
2.
And we are plugged up.
We are plugged up to aux 2.
Got 1%.
Alright, so we got power, battery on. Hit switch 2. Yeah, I mean, that lit up the garage and it's daylight out.
Some bright lights there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're aiming a bit high, I think, but
all over the place.
And not quite equaled out, but we'll get that figured out.
That's a nighttime deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, they can move a lot too.
So yeah, we need to be adjusted a bit, which once it gets dark, it makes it a little bit easier. Plus, when you're not parked on an incline. So.
Cool.
But definitely a good start. Now there is backlighting to them, which we didn't switch to anything, but we could just, that's the backlighting, so, which, that looks cool.
I can't see it. I want to look at it.
Here, I'll hold it on there. There we go.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
those are all amber, nice and dim, just enough to let people know you're there. But yeah, so we're keeping this disconnected now because we're going to run all the backlighting to the same switch. So we're just going to hold off until we do get all the other wiring run and then wire that in. But I think next up, working our way back, would be ditch lights. Really the biggest pain is getting this side up so you can run something, which I just pulled the front out and kind of tucked the wire in over to that side. Yeah. So like this front side, it kind of.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah.
And just pop that up enough that I could stuff the wire in there to run across. Here, hey, we just need enough room to stuff a wire in there to get it across. And then, well, 2 wires. Or 3 wires.
3 wires, we got that same
backlight
switch. Alright.
Yeah, and again, you could just ground it to anywhere in here. So you don't have to run a ground wire over all the way across, or which, like right here.
You just ground to both sides, and then
yeah.
The only wire that needs to come across is that red and blue from that side. Right?
Yeah, so you can ground right here. Looks like a perfect ground because that's actually what it's being used for, as a ground for something else. So we'll use that as a ground, then run the red and the blue wire across. The red wire will go to aux 3, I believe it was. Yeah, aux 3.
Aux 3.
And then, like I said, the blue wire will connect with this blue wire and the other blue wires.
All the blue wires.
All the blue wires. Alright, so on one of the wires, I just put blue on one end, blue tape on the other end. I'm gonna try to fish that in underneath this here. Which, those things are way longer than they need to be.
Yeah, I know. I was pushing them up too. Pull it through. Get some slack over here.
Turns out this is much easier when you got 2 people.
Yeah. Out there. Here's a little tool. Oh, there you go.
This will come up and give us some room to
work.
Play with the wiring. On this side, we got the wiring connection, the waterproof plug that's going to go into the light. Got the red wire and the quote-unquote blue wire running over to that side under the cowl. Have the ground, and it's going to feed that back in there. And then we could plug the light in, make sure this is all fed through, and then screw that down, and then we'll go over to the other side. There we go. We're just using the mounts directly from them. Mounted on there. Did a little bit of electrical tape so you don't have 3 colors of wire sticking out there. It hides that a little bit better, I think. So, all right, on this side we're done. We're all wired up. Wired over to that side with the blue and red. We got the ground, just ground it right here. Now he's running the ground for this side, so right there, which is also a ground on the car, so a good spot to ground it. All right, now he's got this side installed. I do like these lights. They make good quality products. They're not cheap, but they're reasonable. Yep. Especially considering what some things go for. But yeah, so next thing, we just have to wire up the red wire, which is going to go to aux 3, which is violet/green, which is going to be they say violet, I say it's purple and green, but I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. It's like it's mostly violet or purple, and it's just got a green stripe on there coming out of your harness. So just wire that into our red, and we still have this blue, which we're going to bring the other blue up to, but we still have a third blue that's going to come from the overhead light, so still going to keep that unwired for now. I'm just going to do this red to that blue, to that purple/violet. Well, thank you, sir. All right, so we are all wired up.
We are
3. Oh, yeah, those are bright.
so bright.
Those are bright. Woo! Yes. We got the fog lights in, got the ditch lights in. Now we got the Hubble lighting array to install here. This is going to be a lot of light. I thought my light bar was bright. This is going
to be ridiculous.
Yes. We are going to route his wiring harness up and over instead of drilling through like I did on mine, because he doesn't want me to drill holes in his Bronco for some reason. I don't know why. No, but so I just running. We kind of cannibalized the harness that came with it, and we're just using the wires because they're nice thick wires for the ground and for the power.
And we got the plug there on
and
the
we got the
too.
Plug on it, so, and everything's protected. So we just cut it where it went into a relay for them, and now I'm just fishing it down, and then we're going to go into the engine bay and connect it where we normally would to any of the other upfitter switches.
And you fish it down, it's going to come out around, oh yeah, right below the hood mount?
Yeah.
Like right below the hood mount?
Yeah, like right below the, like right through there.
Okay,
there's a little
so yeah,
space.
it's right below the hood mount. These go together pretty easy. Let's give you these little links. 4 bolts each one. And they have it where you can uses little notches where you can either make the bar curve or make the bar straight like it is right now.
All right, so we got this wire up. It's run down through here and right through there and into the engine bay. So now we can connect the ground. We'll probably just ground to this same spot here as this one was ground to. Then we can connect all three of our blue wires together with the actual blue wire from that light. And then our red wire, we need to run to aux switch 1, which is going to be the yellow. And it is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July. You don't have to worry if you hear the sounds in the background. You don't have to worry about our safety. We are safe. It's just fireworks going off. Everybody lighting off firecrackers and stuff in the neighborhood. So yeah, we're not in imminent danger or in a war zone or anything. But it is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully you're doing something more fun than installing lights. But yeah, I mean, we got that all wired up. Just a matter of connecting these last 3 wires. Probably trim them. We don't need quite that much wire. But we'll get those wired up, and then he's just about done with getting
Link bar done.
all these lights linked together. And then there's little links. I don't know, what do you call it?
Well, they say it on
Link splitter, CrossLink splitter. So to connect all the lights together, and then to that harness right there.
Stand this up. We'll put the middle one in. We're gonna find it. Okay, my middle one's in.
Alright, let me try to get my middle in. So that is what you call a light bar.
Those are the pros too, the highest ones I got.
Yeah, so these these are some impressive lights. Even like these little 3-inch ones are super bright. And I even seen those, like how much those lit up. So I can only imagine how bright those things are going to be.
It's ridiculous.
So yeah, he's gonna start plugging. There's those brackets that go in the middle.
Yep.
Some bump stops, I guess, to keep it from flexing in the middle.
Yeah.
And then while he's doing that, I'm going to finish up the wiring down here. And then we can do the wiring up top and it'll be done. Okay, so we got the red wire going to the thick yellow wire, which is aux switch 1. Then we got the thinner yellow and red wire, which is aux 6. And now we could connect that to this blue, and then the other ones that we marked as blue. So this one here that goes to the fog lamps down below, and then this other, which is right here, which goes to the ditch lights. So we got these two plus the blue here from the above lights going to aux 6 switch. So get those all wired together and wiring will be done, except for connecting the actual light bar itself up top. I'm gonna call this good for right now. We could clean that up a little bit better, but I'll make sure we got everything working. He's still up here fighting with these stops.
These supports, yeah. Or a bitch to put on.
Oh. And that's just, since you got 7 lights going across all connected to each other, it's putting some bracing behind it, so it's actually resting up against the hood of the car, relieve some tension.
Yep.
But he's having a good old time doing that. I guess we can make sure other lights are still working. Make sure our backlights. I hit 6. All right, so we got backlight, and hopefully we got some backlighting up there too. But all those amber lights look pretty damn good in my opinion. All right, so that is with them backlit. Turn that off and see them backlit. You could cycle through and change the colors of the backlighting, or not. So you can change red backlighting, blue, green, purple, yellow, or orange, amber.
This is all amber.
Yeah, so then we got all amber, everything. I think that's the look.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And that's the backlight, and then if you need to see, you can turn on.
Is that the? Yeah, that needs to be amber. Yeah, if you really need to see, we can help you out here.
Yeah, and then if you need to see, my camera, you probably can't see. Woo!
Is that all of them?
Yeah, that's all of them. Oh,
Holy shit!
that
Oh my god!
that's a little bit of bright light. If you get lost with all that, then you're really lost. And as I said, it's starting to get dark out here. You could hear that some of the neighbors are celebrating. Now, no idea if you'll be able to close the top or anything, but that way that harness is going through the top there, but
It looks fine.
yeah, that's the look. So this is the installation of a ton of Diode Dynamic lights.
Everything but this offering.
Yeah, they have another S5 light bar that goes across here with, what's it, 4 of them, 5 of them?
Yes, 4.
4 of those big lights. So, and if you need even more light than what's here, they have that. So thanks again to Ryan over at Who's Your Bronco. Be sure to check out his Instagram for more Bronco related stuff.
Yep.
And appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.